So here we are back with Kaggle's Intro to Machine Learning Competitions. We're going to enter the world of machine learning competitions to keep improving and seeing our progress. All right. This one's by Alexis Cook, by the way. The other two people aren't on this one, so it's going to be kind of different than the rest of it. Anyway, let's go. So, machine learning competitions are a great way to improve our data science skills and measure our progress, according to these people. In the next exercise, we will create and submit predictions for the house prices competition for Kaggle Learn users. And look at this picture right here. And when we click it, completely different. This was definitely made like 9 years ago or more. No telling. So our turn, we're going to use what we've learned in the course to create a submission to a Kaggle competition. All right. Like I said, this is completely different. We're going to go on to this part too in this video. All right. All right. So first things first, let's start up the code checking thing because we going over it's pointless. It's just the check-in thing and the file paths. All right. All right. So here's the introduction. In this exercise, we're going to create and submit predictions for a Kaggle competition. We can then improve our model, for example, by adding features to apply what we've learned and move up the leaderboard. We're going to begin by running the code, which we just did, cell below, and set up code checking and file paths, blah, blah, blah. All right, so we did that. So here is some of the code. So here is some of the code that we've written so far. We're going to start by running this again. All right, so let's run this, and this is just going to be the pandas, importing pandas, and the file path, and all the stuff, even the random forest right down here. So it's everything we've already done. And then when we see the random forest May, it's going to be 21,857. All right, so that's something we can go off of right there. All right, so now we're going to train a model for the competition. The code cell above trains a random forest model on train X and train Y. Yeah, we've got that right here, train X, train Y. We're going to use the code cell below to build a random forest model and train it on all of X and Y. All right. So this one's a little bit different, but like I said, let's keep going. To improve accuracy, we're going to create a new random forest model, which we will train on all training data. All right. So RT model on full data is going to equal. So let's just come up here and grab this random forest regressor thing right here and bring it down there. All right. Oh, here we go. Where are we? Here we are. Let's drop it like that. And now we're going to fit our F model on full data on all data from the training data. All right, so let's go up here and grab the fit. Drop it here. Let's grab this, put it in front of it. And since it's going to be on all the data, let's get rid of train X and train Y, since we're not doing a train data split or whatever the function was, right? So let's run it and see if it's good. And yeah, that means it's good. All right, so now we're going to read the file of test data and apply our model to make predictions, okay? So we're going to start by doing the read on this one. So let's go get the pd.read CSV right here. Oops. There we go. All right, let's grab that. Let's bring it down here, drop it here, and let's put test data file path instead of IO file path, all right? So now we're going to create test X, which comes from test data, but includes only the columns we used for prediction. Pardon me. The list of columns is stored in a variable called features. All right, so basically this is going to be the thing where we make the data frame, right? So it's going to be just like this right here, home data with features or at features. So let's take this while we're here. Let's drop this here, and let's get test data and switch home data for that. All right. So now we're going to make predictions, which we're going to submit. All right. So we're going to do the predictions. Let's come up here and find our prediction thing. What is that say? Test preds. All right. So let's grab this one right here, the RF model predict val X, and let's drop this here. Let's turn it to test. No. Let's get the model on full data, drop it here, and let's put here regular X. Let's see if this works. Does that work? Did that work? All right. Here's the check the answers. Let's see if it works here. Nope. Predict X. Let's put test X in there. Is that what we were supposed to do? Val X. Test X. Okay, let's do test X. Now let's run that, and now let's run this. All right, correct, good. All right, it says we're done. We're not done. All right, so now we're going to generate a submission. We're going to run the code cell below to generate a CSV file with our predictions. All right, also, there's some solutions. Let's look at the solution before we do that. No, yeah. So yeah, basically the same thing. I don't know what this is, but yeah, here's this test data features RF model test X. All right, great. So like I said, we're going to run this code cell below to generate a CSV file with our predictions that we can use to submit to the competition. All right, let's run it. And that made a CSV output.csv. I don't know where this went. I guess it's just going to be whatever output is. So it is what it is. So now we're going to submit to the competition. So this is really outdated, but I'll show you what to do these days. So to test our results, we're going to need to join the competition if we haven't already. So we're going to open a new window by clicking this link and then click on the join competition button. Yeah, this doesn't even have the join competition thing on the example. So yeah, we click this and there's really not going to be any join competition thing over here. So don't even worry about that. Let's come down here and then do these steps. All right, so we're going to begin by clicking on the save version button in the top right corner of the window. And this is going to generate a pop-up window, right? So yeah, click this save version. We don't really even need to go to that other page. So let's just click the save version. And after that, we're going to ensure that the save and run all option is selected. And then we'll click on the save button. So let's click this. Save and run all is selected. Let's save it. All right, so now we've got this thing right here. This is going to take about 30 seconds. So let's go through the rest of this thing while it goes. All right. So this generates a window in the bottom left corner of the notebook. After it finishes running, we're going to click on the number to the right of the save version. They're talking about this right here. To the right of the save versions button. This pulls up a list of versions on the right side of the screen. And we're going to click on the ellipsis to the right of the most recent version. So many words. And select Open in Viewer. This is going to bring into view mode. This brings us into view mode of the same page. Okay, and we're going to need to scroll down to get back to these instructions. All right. Well, this thing's done already. All right. So let's come over here and just do what it says. So let's click the number 1 right here, and then we're going to click this ellipsis, and it says to do a stuff like Open in Viewer and then scroll all the way down. We don't need to do that. Between then and now, they've added this submit to competition. So we just need to click this here. And now it's going to say blah, 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 blah. Select the notebook, machine learning competitions. It's all good. And submit it. And just like that, we have submitted something to the competition. And we see we got 21, 217, blah, blah, blah right there. All right. So we're good on that. Let's go back one. For some reason, this didn't open up in a new thing, but whatever. So we did do that just now. Let's come back down here to the bottom and look at this some more. All right, so we did that, blah, blah, blah. So we've now successfully submitted to the competition. If we want to keep working to improve our performance, we're going to select the edit button in the top right of the screen, and then we can change our code and repeat the process. There's a lot of room to improve, and we will climb the leaderboard as we work, all right? So it says to click the edit, but it's just going to take us right back to this page. Let's go over there and see. No point. So instead of doing that, we'll just work on this page. But let's keep going right here. So continue our progress. There are many ways to improve our model, and experimenting is a great way to learn at this point. The best way to improve our model is to add features, all right? To add more features to the data, we can revisit the first code cell and change this line of code to include more column names, all right? So we're going to add these column names to this thing, right? To these features. and some features will cause errors because of issues like missing values or non-numeric data types. But here's a complete list of potential columns that we might like to use that won't throw errors, right? So if we take all of these and we add them to this, which we don't actually need to, we don't need to actually do that. What I did was I deleted all this stuff and then I just added this and then did a whole, like delete space, comma, you know, whatever, right? And basically the end result was this right here, all right? So this is the features list now. So what we're gonna do is we'll take this, copy this, all right, and the best way I did it was I slapped it up here like this. I had this over here and this over here, and I just copy and pasted this whole thing over here, and then just did the delete, comma, go to the end, delete, comma, whatever, right? And there we go. So we got this. Let's copy this, and we'll come over here again, and we will slap this right into where features are, right? So let's grab this, and boom. Now we got this right here, and let's drop this down a little bit so that it's a little easier to read. 1, 2, 3, 4, and there we go. All right, so now when we run this thing, remember it was like 21,000 or something. Now when we run it, it is 17,906. All right, so now we can submit this to the competition. Let's go to save version, save it. All right, so this is going to take a little while. We'll fast forward so that it gets done quickly. All right, so that's finally finished. So let's come back over here to the 2, open this thing up, and let's submit to competition. Looks good, submit it. And there we go. So we went from 21,000 to 17,860. Didn't it say like 900? Well, whatever, it doesn't matter. So we went from this to this, and so that's a good little 400 points, maybe a little 300 and something points, whatever. And so let's go back down to the end of this. How inconsistent. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's free, right? I don't want to get in trouble like I did with free code camp. Anyway, so look at the list. So we can look at the list of columns and think about what might affect home prizes. To learn more about each of these features, we can take a look at the data descriptions on this one. So at first, I put all 80 of these in there. And like it said on the other page, on this page, some of them did have numeric values, and some of the things were missing, and so it didn't work for me. But you know, that's basically what happened. So let's come back over here. So after updating the code cell above that defines the features, we rerun all the code cells, evaluate it, and generate a new submission file. Yeah, so we did that. All right, so what's next? As mentioned above, some of the features will throw an error if we try to use them to train the model. The intermediate machine learning course will teach us how to handle these types of features, all right? We will also learn to use XGBoost, a technique giving even better accuracy than random forest. Awesome. Pandas course, we already did that, and we're also ready for the deep learning course. Let's go to the intermediate machine learning. How about that? All right, so we're done with that one finally. So, all right, now we're on to intermediate machine learning, and we'll see you next time.